Good morning. Okay, so I see your screen, Mr. Eduardo. How you doing?
Good morning, Christopher and everybody. Let me see how many people we have in the system.
How many people we get out there? Give a shout out if you're out there.
Molly Assad is connected. Hi, Molly. Let's bring 5 minutes more to the people. So I am finishing my setting here.
Sure thing. In football, we have a 2-minute warning. In Puerto Rico, we give a 5-minute warning.
Exactly.
Oh, let's see.
Tenemos a Ingrid Segarra también en la línea. Saludos, Ingrid. Saludos, Molly. Buenos días.
Good morning.
Bien, quiero saber, Molly, can you hear me very well and see the screen? And Ingrid? Bienvenido, Charles. Welcome, Charles. Can you hear me well and see the screen? Puedes escribirlo en el chat, ¿ok?
Molly, are you in? I see the chat posting. It's not a requirement that I see you, just so that you can see our screens, Molly. Don't be afraid. We're all on our first cup of coffee.
Yes. We have Molly, Charles, Ingrid.
And two more and we'll break the curfew with a group of people. Let's see here.
Christopher, can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. I see your screen.
Uh-huh.
And I see your video at the top of in the margin on the top.
Perfect. Very good. Let
I
me
don't
check.
see anybody else's video.
No, that is not allowed in this webinar. Let me verify Facebook if we are streaming.
Okay.
Let me be sure that everything is good. To start. Perfect. Yes. Ok, le damos la bienvenida a Annalise Figueroa. Welcome, Annalise, to this live webinar also. So let's start, Christopher. Ok, gracias a todos por esta mañana estar aquí. Voy a comenzar brevemente la introducción de este seminario y luego le paso la parte a nuestro compañero Christopher Larue. Primero que todo, gracias a todos ustedes que están aquí presentes. Esto es una gran oportunidad, ¿verdad? Dado la situación que nos encontramos en Puerto Rico, el Comité del Multiple Listing Service, pues, además de estar a la vanguardia en tecnología, pues, constantemente estamos fomentando lo que son lo que es la educación a distancia. Así que habíamos propuesto en todos los martes de 10 a 1 de la tarde dar unos webinars, unos adiestramientos presenciales dentro de la asociación. Pero dada la circunstancia, ¿verdad? Pues nos hemos movido a la plataforma en línea y creo que esto es bien beneficioso. Debemos cuidarnos, mantenernos en nuestros hogares, ¿verdad? Para evitar propagar el contagio del COVID-19. Así que todos los martes vamos a continuar la agenda. Todos los martes en la Asociación de Realtors de Puerto Rico estaremos ofreciendo, con el favor de Dios, adiestramientos a todos nuestros participantes. Si usted todavía no es miembro del Multiple Listing Service, pues en la parte de arriba de aquí de la página de Facebook está el link o la información o los teléfonos para que usted pueda conseguir información de cómo poderse hacerse socio dentro del Multiple Listing Service. Pero este training va dirigido a los participantes. Este training no va dirigido necesariamente a personas, ¿verdad?, que no son parte del sistema, aunque sí los invitamos a que participen también y estén mirando cómo es que funciona el sistema desde adentro. Por eso lo hemos abierto. Este taller primariamente iba a ser solamente a los participantes, pero dadas las condiciones se abrió a todo el público en general de la industria de bienes raíces. Vamos a hablar durante este taller de lo que es la ordenanza ejecutiva, Rules Policy Cooperation 8.0, los entrenamientos subsiguientes y al final vamos a atender lo que son las preguntas y respuestas. Número uno, quiero hablar de la ordenanza ejecutiva. Específicamente, ayer posteamos esto. Esa ordenanza no nos permite a nosotros como profesionales estar practicando allá afuera. He escuchado muchas quejas de algunos compañeros que todavía hay agentes o personas llamándolo para mostrar propiedades. Y nosotros nos encontramos en una situación de alta emergencia. No podemos salir de nuestros hogares a menos que sea simplemente para hacer la compra durante el espacio de 5 de la mañana a 9 de la noche, si mal no recuerdo. Pero no podemos estar mostrando propiedades, no podemos estar llamando a nuestros compañeros realtors para que nos den la llave de X o Y propiedad. Y Christopher les va a mostrar a ustedes cómo dentro del Stellar MLS usted puede cambiar el estado de la propiedad en vez de activo a temporalmente fuera del mercado para que evite ese tipo de llamadas de personas que no son responsables, que están exponiéndose directamente a la enfermedad o al virus allá afuera y que a su vez están exponiendo a sus clientes y están en violación de la ley. Así que eso se va a tocar también próximamente. El próximo adiestramiento va a ser el martes y vamos a hablar de Showing Time. Showing Time es una herramienta poderosísima para hacer las presentaciones de las propiedades. Vamos a mostrar la aplicación móvil, cómo trabaja, cómo funciona, cómo interactúa, para que ustedes se adiestren, porque estamos en nuestras casas y es un momento precioso para que nosotros pongamos al día un montón de cosas que no hemos hecho por muchos meses, muchos años. Así que sin mucho más que añadir, quiero darle las gracias a nuestra presidenta Caridad Quiroga de la Puerto Rico Association of Realtors, que en todo momento ha estado con nosotros desarrollando todo este plan y toda esta logística para que ustedes como miembros de la Asociación de Realtors puedan tener el beneficio de poder adiestrarse desde la comodidad de sus hogares. Así que sin más que añadir, voy a pasarle la parte entonces a nuestro compañero Christopher Larue. Christopher Larue fue pasado presidente de la Asociación de Realtors, del San Juan Board of Realtors.
Exactly.
Pasado presidente de el Multiple Listing Service Committee. O sea, y tiene una experiencia vasta en todo lo que tiene que ver con el sistema de listados múltiples. Así que es una persona bien preparada y es uno de nuestros integrantes del comité. Así que sin más que añadir, Christopher, go ahead, my friend.
Okay. Good morning to all. This is a little disclaimer. First, this is our first time trying to do this. So if it's not perfect, please don't kill me. We are doing this. We're going to try to make this happen, and so that we can continue to get the training out to people, so we can get to use this great tool that we have with us. A little bit about myself, as Eduardo said, I was the president of the San Juan Board for 2017. I've been with the MLS committee since 2015. Before that, I was in Miami as a realtor, working with an office of 35 agents. And one of the things I pushed there was the multiple listing service and everybody using it. So I got to teach a lot of people how to use the same system we're now using. This is the exact same system that we used in Miami, and we are using all over the state of Florida and most of the country. So be glad for that. My office was in Kendall, Florida, did about $1 million in sales per month. And the biggest question was, how do I get in listings quickly? And the second biggest question is, how do I search for properties? So today we're going to go over how to get these listings in quickly so that you're not spending 30, 45 minutes on every listing. We can get this done in 10 or 15 minutes if we just follow along. If you notice in your webinar chat on the side, you can chat in with a question. I will be monitoring that so that I can answer anybody's question at the time. Everybody ready to go?
Christopher, share your screen, please. Yes.
Okay. This is
Perfect.
your screen, the login screen. It is stellarmls.com. For anybody out there that is not a current member of Stellar MLS and want to become a member of Stellar MLS, you go to stellarmls.com/PRAR, just like that, and you can do the application. It takes about 24 hours, and your password is going to be sent to you in an email. Your login is your NRDS number. If you do not have an NRDS number, that means that you need to become a realtor. And so find your local board, get in touch, and become a realtor. Okay? Once you get in, at the top here is the MLS login. That's my NRDS number. This is my password. Don't copy my password. It's for me only. Once you get logged in, you'll see this screen here. This is your main dashboard. This is where the matrix is. Where you can go and sign up for a class, where you can make a payment. Down here at the bottom is where the university is. And for anybody who wants to read the rules and regulations, they're right there. This also has a lot of connectivity with other applications that we have that we can use, which are exclusive to the Puerto Rico Realtors MLS, including Showing Time, the Go MLS app. Whoop, push the button, sorry. The Go MLS app, which is an excellent app to have on your phone. Your homework tonight is to get into your phone, go to your Google Play or your iPhone store and get this app put into your phone. It's excellent because you can do most of the things with buyers and with people that you meet on the street. Not today because we can't be on the street, but when this quarantine lifts, you'll be able to talk to people in the supermarkets and everyday life and be able to show that, yes, we have a multiple listing service in Puerto Rico and we have lots of listings available. The Cloud CMA is very good to making market analysis. HomeSnap is also excellent. Get involved, find out more about that. The Proxio is an international way of getting referrals. RatePlug is a very good software to have with your loan officers. And realistically, everything here will become available to us as we go through and advance the system over the next future. Today, we're going to go into Matrix. Click on the box for the matrix, you come up with this screen here. All right. This is your main matrix. If any of you are following along in your computer, you can notice that these are not the same way as in yours because I can move them. I can put them anywhere I want. And what I do is I make sure I have all of my data that I want exclusive to myself at the top, very fast. I am mostly a buyer's agent. I have some listings, as you can see here. I have 9 active listings, but I'm mostly dealing with buyers. And these are the people that have come to my portal to look for properties. And I know that they came in yesterday. I have this Lucas guy coming on Sunday. This tells me I should give these people a call today and say, hey, Kim, I saw you went to the portal. Is there anything interesting that you might want to be interested in? Over here are our alerts. This is the alert from this morning about how Florida has now joined us in not having open houses or showings during this time of the quarantine. It is very important that we do not have anybody out about showing houses and having open houses during this period. Trust me, people, it will go away. We will be able to go back out and work again, and we will be at 100% once again. But until then, let's just heed the law and say, stay home. I'm doing a lot of stuff, as you can see. I have been doing a lot of people, a lot of searches. 16 new listings were put in over the last week. These were probably listings that were the week before and then just put into the system. We've had a couple sales, which are probably, again, closed the week before the system and then put in the system now. Here is the temporarily off the market. And this is where the notification from PRAR and from Stellar tells you to take it off the market. We want you to, not be bothered by agents, because a lot of our listing agents have been bothered by other agents saying, I want to show your house. I want to do this. And we can't do it. You cannot show the houses. You cannot even give lock boxes out to people to let them show the properties. It's really, really, we need to heed this. This is a never precedented before event of a pandemic like this. And these are the things that we need to do in order to make sure that we do not get overblown and out of control. And again, everybody just stay home. At the top is your tabs, like a normal website. We can do searches. I can do commercial, rentals. I can do stats. I can take care of my clients with my contacts. I can still do auto emails. I can still do everything. I just have to do it from home. And I love going to Starbucks and doing this stuff. Trust me. This is the ad edit. This is where we're going to go and be able to put in listings. A new rule by NAR is the 8.0 rule that all listings, once they are started to be publicly marketed, must be in the MLS. So if you have an exclusive or a semi-exclusive listing and you want to put that in the clasificados or in emails or on your website or anything like that, it must also be in the MLS. So, and that's starting May 1st. So we have about a month in order to get all your listings in, okay? So it's very important that we learn how to do this, and we learn how to do this quickly. Up here is the add new listings. You can click here where it says add new listings, and we go to add a new listing forms. You can put residential, commercial, income, vacant land, rentals. Let's see here. How do we get the, Mr. Eduardo, how do we get the chat opened again?
You have to click in the top screen in the blue green area, and that turn on the menu, and then you can see the chat button. Chris, if you can zoom in your screen,
Okay.
because you have a lot of space in blank there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Better. Good.
now let's see. Open up the chat. I can't seem to open up the chat. So Mr. Eduardo, if you see anything on the chat, please let me know, okay?
Yes, no problem. Continue. We are going to attend the question at the end.
Okay. I just don't want to leave anybody behind if I pass something that's not completely understood.
Okay. I will tell you. Okay.
Thanks. Again, residential, commercial, income, vacant, rental, and sold data entry. These are the things that we need people to put in from the last year. So in your time when you're putting in properties, put in the ones you sold also. It helps you with your social profile. It helps you when people look you up to be able to say, hey, yeah, I sold 10 properties last year, and they'll be able to see what you do. So we're not going to get into that today. We're going to do just a regular residential email, a residential listing. From the top, you see fill in from public records, fill in from the realist tax records, fill in from cross property. These are things that will come in the future for us. But right now, we're going to start with a blank listing, and we don't even need to worry about anything else. Just go blank listing. And then the next page is the getting started. It never changes. So you go to the next tab, very quick. All of the normal stuff that is here, listing date, which we're going to put in today. Okay. By the rules, you have 3 days to put this in. By the new rule from NAR, you have 1 day after you start publicly marketing the property to have it in the MLS. Realistically, if you got this listing on Saturday and now it's Tuesday, just put today's list date in. 3 days is not going to change anything, and no one's going to really check. So just put the list date in of today. List price, of course, we're going to put in $100,000. Expiration date, no listing can be over a year. So you click here once, and it goes to March 2021. Today's the 22nd, no, 24th, so 23rd. Okay. If you deal with REO properties, put in REO. If it's a short sale, put it in. If it's an auction property, put it in. My property is a none, which is everything else. The listing type, you can only put in agency and right to sell properties in the MLS. So no open listings, no net listings, and no verbal listings. You have to have an actual written listing agreement, and it must be either agency or right to sell. Now, agency is the same as a semi-exclusive listing that we use here in Puerto Rico, and the right to sell is the same as it is here in Puerto Rico as it is in Florida. So if you get a semi-exclusive listing, make sure you put down as an agency.
Chris,
Yo.
You can press the Alt plus H letter to see the chat, okay?
Okay.
Verify if that work. ALT
it's not,
plus H.
Yeah, it's not working for me.
Okay.
It's because my screen's full screen, I'm sure.
Okay.
So continuing on, listing service type. All listings in Puerto Rico are full service at this moment. So we put full service. We get an exclusive, not agency. I like right to sell. Right to sell means that no matter what happens with this property, you get paid. So we always want to have right to sell agreements. Representation. It's not in yellow, so you do not have to fill it in. Only things that are in yellow are required to be filled in. Street address. The street number is the house number. Now, this can be a house number. It can be a lot number. It can be a solar number. It can be anything that identifies the individual house. Street name. Calle Miramar is the actual street name. Now, sometimes, and I've come across this, where the street is not named, or it's not on the deed, or it's not in Google Maps. Just put calle unknown. Very, very simple. Street type doesn't matter here, but we can put in avenue, you can put in boulevard, you can put in calle is not here, but it is street. Again, it's not street, street there. Okay, it's not in yellow, so it's not required. Next, unit number is only for condos, so don't put it in for a house. City, the easiest way to do this is to click up here where it says autofill. Okay, click that, window opens. Click on where it says Puerto Rico, put in the zip code, and click run. This will tell me the city, state, postal code, and I click on fill, and automatically it fills it all in for me, very quick. This is also very useful if you have areas of Puerto Rico that have multiple sectors, like 00926, which is Rio Piedras, but I can also have Coupé or San Juan as the city. If I click in where it says Rio Piedras, it puts in the city, Rio Piedras. And yes, I know Rio Piedras has long not since been a city, but we want to know what areas so that we can search properties. Puerto Rico, zip code, okay? If you notice that Calle Miramar is now on the map, so I don't have to mess with the map. I continue on. County is this municipality that you're working in. So I am in Dorado. Dorado. There you go. All right. Let me change my zip code back to Dorado so everything's correct. I click fill. It changes. Map now finds the property. I don't have to mess with that. Floors in the home. This particular home has only one floor. Everything else is not yellow. So we go to the next tab. Pool, exterior. Okay. This particular house does have a pool. Property style is a single family home. It can also be half a duplex. It can be a farm. It can be a mobile home. It can be any one of these, but this one is a single family residence. Front exposure, something very important to have because some people want to know which way the door faces on the house. If it's east, west, north, south, you have a feng shui, which is a way of looking at properties and knowing that in certain parts of the house are certain energies, certain ways you should put the beds inside the rooms, certain ways the front door should match. to face. Also, other philosophies need to know which direction east and west is and what direction the magnetic lines of the earth are. So people want to know which way the house is exposed. And I have had people come and see a house with a compass so that they know exactly where they are inside the house and which direction the bed's got to be in and everything. So it's not crazy. Trust me. This house faces to the east. Is it new construction? No, but you can put new construction in. So if you are you have a connection with a developer and you're having new construction in areas, you can put down new construction. You can put down properties. You can put into the pictures where the floor plans are and the different styles. So just because it's new construction doesn't mean it can't be in the MLS. And we need new construction and resales in the MLS.
Chris.
Yo.
Yes, I have a question in the chat. First of all, Charles Green have a question about how to become member of the realtors and then to the MLS, so we can attend that question at the end. And another question is Molly Assad. Do you do this on an iPad while you are with the owner, or there is a blank form we can take with us?
There is a form we can take with us. I know it like the back of my hand, so I don't bring the form with me. Do you remember where the form is?
Yes, yes. In that control panel, go down at the right. Let me see, where do you? You have your. Okay. No, you change your. Go back, Chris. In the dashboard. Okay. Additional links. You have in external links. Okay, click there. Okay. Listing forms. There is.
There you go.
Yes.
These are listing forms that can be used. And those are listing forms. Where are the other forms?
Yes, that is it's in listing forms and residential.
Under residential.
Yes.
As you can see here.
That is required as part of addendum of the leasing contract to be signed by the owner also. So.
Okay. Yes. So make sure you bring these with you. Again, I know pretty much this stuff by the back of my hand, so I know when I get a listing, I can ask these questions. But this is a very good form to keep with you. You can download it as a PDF, and it is fillable as a PDF. So you can do it right there on your iPad and with the owner. As you can see there, you can fill it in. You can fill it in each of these areas with it, finish it, go on the internet and email it directly to the seller so they have a copy of it, and then keep it in your files. So you don't even have to print it out. You can do it right there, which is very good. And then this kind of makes you look very professional also, because when you're done with the listing presentation and the seller has said, yep, I'm going to choose you, you look very good, you can pull this up on your iPad or other tablet and go, okay, let's do this information. And it goes through all the different things. And this is great really for two reasons. One, you fill this out, and then the next morning when you go to put this in, you don't have to remember, was Was there a barn? Was there a barn? You don't have to think about, okay, vegetation. Also, if you have an assistant, you bring this in filled out to the assistant, you hand it to the assistant and tell her, go ahead and put this in the MLS for us. And she has all the information. She doesn't have to bother you with any of the information because it's all here. So it's really good to have that form available when you go to listing presentations. Any other questions? All right. For Charles, we will go into more depth at the end about how to become a realtor. Please keep thinking about where your office is. And we will ask you that later on, where your office is, and then give you the number for your corresponding board where your office is. Let's continue. Okay. Let's see. I think I closed the window. Let me get caught up here. Residential. Start a blank listing. Listing. This is how you do it fast. Listing date. Expiration date. Listing type. Full service. None. Street number is JJ33. If you have a computer that reminds you, it'll put it there for you. Calle Miramar. Fill in. Puerto Rico. Zip code. Run the search. Fill it in. Fills in the information for me and finds it. Oh, where's that? He'll find it. County is Larue. Larue is a one-story house. Next. Yes, there's a pool. It is a single-family residence. It is exposed to the east. It's not new construction. Come down. Again, everything in yellow is required. So foundation, this is a slab. Slab is a concrete foundation. If you have a house on stilts, put the house on stilts. A basement is not really used in Puerto Rico, but to be a basement, it has to have no windows. So if you have a house that's got a floor that goes down and is open to the outside, it's not a basement. It's just a floor. Exterior construction, block, concrete. Here's your friend, other. Other is your friend. If you do not know, just click other and keep going. Concrete roofs. Other, metal roofs. They're all there. Exterior features. Again, if you're putting in a listing for a $500,000 house, yes, you're going to have balconies and awnings and hurricane shutters and lighting systems and all these other outdoor kitchens. This particular house has an outdoor kitchen. All these different things. But if you're putting in an average $100,000 house in Puerto Rico, you're not going to have all this stuff. So just put other and keep going. Is there a garage? The difference between a garage and a carport is that when the door is closed in a garage, you cannot see into the space. So if it's a carport, you can see in. There's no door on the carport. This one is no carport and yes, garage. You're at the bottom, so you go to the next. Land and tax. Up here where you see your tabs. Tax ID number. Tax ID number is gotten from the deed or from the cream report that you should get from your seller. It is very good to spend a few minutes and look up the ID number to make sure that the person registered with cream is the person that you're talking to about selling this house. Many times, and I've done this in Puerto Rico, I will ask, who is this person? Because it's not the person that I was talking to. And they'll say, oh, that was my father, or that was my wife, or that was this. And now you know you have to get this changed before you get to a closing, because that's going to cause problems. So make sure you put a tax ID number in there. As you can see, I just wrote a number in there. No one's going to really check it. And if somebody does and says that's the wrong number, just go change it. It's not going to be that big of a deal. But don't put all zeros either. That's obviously not the right number. So keep going. Additional parcel? No. Year built. Another problem we have in Puerto Rico is that many times we do not know when a house is built. So either ask the owner when the house was built, or go to Louis Abreu and check on the houses built in that area from them and learn your areas. You know that the areas in Isla Verde were late 70s, early 80s, but some buildings were built in the 2000s. You know that certain areas of Bayamón were built right after in the 50s and 60s, but you also know that a lot of your closed access urbanizations were built in the last 20 years. And the houses that you can look at, like the Fajaros in Bayamón, the Paseos, both in Dorado and in San Juan Coupe area, they were built in the 2000s. So just put in a number that you think is as accurate as you can come by. This house that I'm talking about was built in 1973. Zoning. All residential housing is R1. Condos are R6. Just remember those two zonings. Keep going. Legal subdivision name. This is where you put the urbanization, the barrio, ward, or section of wherever the house is. My house, this house that I'm putting in, is in the Dorado del Mar. So urbanization, Dorado del Mar. Okay. This is very important for us to do CMAs because we were looking for certain houses in certain subdivisions. We can go and find these houses in different areas. It is also very important that when searching for the properties, I can say, hey, this one's in Dorado del Mar. It's a really good neighborhood. Or I can say it's in an area of San Juan that's under development, because we know like the Miramar area and the Santurce area around the where the Bella Arts Center is in an improving area over the last 5 years. Flood zone. As you can see, it's in yellow, and it's also very important. So you go back to where the listing is, where the listing is. Street type, let's put in street. because right now it's not showing the correct map. Okay. Go to a different tab and then go back and it resets the page. You can also set it manually. This is somewhere in Florida. Normally the map comes up on its own. Dorado.
Christopher, you can push the button in the map above, so the pin location can be placed in your current location. So if the pin location is located in the ocean or in Florida, on everywhere, you can put that button and that place your pin in your current location.
Okay. Where is that again?
That is at the top of that screen. The right, at the right.
Here.
That one, yes. Recenter.
Okay. Now.
So you don't have to move so far the pin.
Okay, then that makes it faster. Okay. On your layers here, you have flood zones. If you click on the flood zones come up immediately. And now I know that this house is in an X flood zone. So I go back and I say done. It corrects the map and goes back to land and tax. And I know to put here X. Total acreage, this is a searchable field. So if it's up to 10,000, which is a quarter of an acre, or a quarter to a half, or half to 1 acre, that's very important to know because people search. Somebody wants an acre of property, I can search for and remove all of the non-acre properties. And if your property has an acre to it, and I'm searching for an acre and it's not there or incorrect, I will never find your property. So it's very important that you put that there. Lot size and square footage. Every deed of every house tells you how big the lot is. Multiply the square meters times 10.8, and you may want to write that down, 10.8, and you will get square footage. So if this is 1,000, say 125 square meters, I multiply 1,235 times 10.8, and I get 13,338. Square footage. This is very important because when this gets syndicated out to Realtor.com and Zillow and the 70 other websites all over the world, they put this as a square footage. And if somebody outside is looking at it and they only see 1,000 square feet lot, they think it's very small, but realistically, it's just under a quarter of an acre of land. So make sure they put that in. Lot size in acres. Put the same number as you would with the cuerdas. They're only 3% difference between an acre and a cuerda. So if it's a 1 cuerda property, just put 1. If you're doing a finca or a solar or some sort of large lot, put in 5 cuerdas. Very close, and no one's going to sue you because you put in 5 cuerdas and they thought it was acres. There's not going to be a big problem. So continue on. Interior. Again, this is where you put the bedrooms. 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Half bath is 1. Square foot heated is 2,300. Where the source is, if the owner told you, yes, this house is 2,300 square feet, put that there. If you go to the house and you walk it off, another problem with Puerto Rico is that no one really knows what the size of the house is without an appraisal. If the previous appraisal on the house is there and you're able to see it, put appraisal. If you go outside and you walk around the house, then you measured it. For new construction, the builder may tell you. Otherwise, the owner provided, put owner provided. Square foot heated is the same as square foot total in Puerto Rico, because all houses are heated naturally in Puerto Rico. Very important to put in both places, okay? This question of how big the house is always a question. And even in Dade County, where I was in Miami, Dade County counts square footage differently than Broward County. So we had to learn which way they were counted and then be able to put them into the MLS per what the county requirements are. All of Puerto Rico is the same, so walk it off. And if you don't know, ask the owner. If the owner doesn't know, get an appraisal. If the appraiser doesn't want to come out there, then just give a guesstimate. And it's more important to know a guesstimate because I need to know as a buyer's agent if the house is 900 square feet or if it's 2,300 square feet. Okay? Especially when there's 3 bedrooms. Because if I see 900 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, that's a really tiny house. But 2,300, 3 bedroom, 3 bath is very good size. Fireplace. This house doesn't have a fireplace, but I have heard other agents tell me that houses up in the mountains where it does get into the 60s at night, especially now in the wintertime, there are fireplaces. So if it has a fireplace, put one there. Appliances. Again, it's in yellow, so we make sure we get all the appliances. This is where, again, none other are very important. Interior features. Again, if you're selling a $500,000 house, you're going to have ceiling fans, cathedral ceilings. You're going to have elevators. There's a complex in Dorado that has elevators in the house. Saunas, split bedrooms. You're going to have all this stuff. If you don't know, other, and where is it? None's not there. Okay, keep going. Floor. Most houses have a tile, porcelain tile, but you can, again, put other there. If, again, travertine, marble, epoxy, all these things, ceramic tile. Keep going. Utilities. I always put as much as I can. So electricity available, electricity connected, cable connected. Some houses now in San Juan and other areas are now getting fiber optics. So we want to make sure that we have fiber optics there. Phone available. And of course, other. If your house has solar panels, underground utilities. Keep going. If your property is on a canal, then put that there. If it's not, if you have public water or private water or a well, make sure to put that there. This house has public water. Sewer, again, public, septic are your two main choices. Public. Heating and fuel, again, we're in Puerto Rico, so there is no heating in houses except for some houses in the mountains area. But most of the time, the houses are going to not have any fuel or heating, so none and other. Keep going. When we contracted with Stellar, we requested up front many different things to be added to the system to help Puerto Ricans be able to use this system much easier. One of the things that they did for us was to add mini split units. This was not there before. They added this and a few other things for us so that we can use the system easily. If you don't remember what air conditioning, none and other. Move to the next tab. This is the rooms. You're only required to put 3 rooms in every listing. So click more twice. Go to the room type. You need to put in a kitchen. You have to put in a living room. And you have to put in a master bedroom. You have to put which level it's on. This happens to be a 1-story house, so everything's on the 1st floor. And that's it. You don't have to put any other information in. You can go on to the next tab. Water information is if the property is connected to water, as in beach, which is here, or canals. There is an area of Carolina that has a canals behind the house. And if your house has canal access or freshwater access, make sure to put that there. If it doesn't, like most houses do in Puerto Rico, just put no. Water view. If it can view the beach or it can view the ocean, then you put down beach. Or a canal. If it does not view any water, then keep no and keep going. Is the house on the frontage? Yes or no? Most houses are not, so keep going. If you already knew this, then you can just continue on to the next tab and not worry about this. Green features are all the solar and verifications of different properties that are complying to green features. Solar power, wind power, renewable metals, appliances or green energy. Most houses will not have this, but if it does have a solar panel array on the top, make sure to put it there. Houses are becoming much more valuable here in Puerto Rico, especially with the prices of electricity and the hurricane that was a couple years ago, that we need to have sustainable electrical power for each of the different properties. And if your house has this, it's much more valuable. But this house doesn't, so we're going to continue on to the owner. All right, owner's name. Never put the owner's name. Never put the tenant's name. The only thing in yellow is the ownership. We have either condo, fee simple. That is the only 2 that we use here in Puerto Rico. I have been told that there's a few co-ops in the San Juan area. And if you happen to get a co-op, you can call me personally to help you put it in as a co-op. But it's either condo or fee simple. And 99% of the properties in Puerto Rico are going to be either a condo or fee simple. Fee simple means that they bought it with a simple fee and that's it. Condos means that there are areas around the condo that are shared by the other condo owners. And that's all. Is there existing lease? We say no. And we keep going. Next, community. Is there an HOA? Yes. HOA fee requirement? Of course. I have yet to meet an HOA that does not require the payments. So HOA fee, yes, it's $60 a month. $60 per month. If it's a condo fee, then you put a condo fee. What's the schedule for the condo fee? Monthly. Any additional fees? Hope not. Any other fees? Some have dual fees. That means that there's two different fees, one for a master HOA and one for a specific HOA. Make sure to put those in there. Manager contact name. If you do not know, just put president. Manager email, put your own email in. Oops. Contact phone number, put your phone number in. The website address, you do not have to put that in. Keep going. I always laugh because this community feature, airports, is an actual thing in Florida. There are urbanizations that have actual airport runways that people can fly to their house. We don't have that here in Puerto Rico, but we do have other things like a fitness center, gated community, fitness center, golf carts are okay. None and other are always your friends. These are not in white and yellow, so keep going. Keep going. Can the property be leased? Yes. Recently, we just had on the, we had on our association meetings that we now have to have any leases less than 6 months must now be approved by the association. So yes, it can be a lease. Lease restrictions? Yes. Association approval required? Yes. Minimum lease, I can lease for 1 to 7 days, but I have to have approval. Maximum times per year is 52. That's because 1 week, 52 times. Very simple. Years of ownership prior? No. Number of years? 0. If you're putting in a condo that does not allow short-term rentals, make sure you ask the association, what's the minimum lease? And they will look in the books and their bylaws, and they will find out, yes, you can have a minimum lease of only 6 months. Okay, that's here, 6 months. Minimum times, 2. And then keep going. Next tab. This is all the realtor information. So cash is always a financing option. If you're in a condo and it's FHA approved, make sure to put it there. I have 3 clients myself that are looking for condos, but are only approved FHA. So if you have one, please put it there. I will automatically get an email. Other, again, is your friend. If your seller is willing to do financing, because you can put private financing. If the property is in a rural area, you can put USDA. And if it's available for VA loans. Realtor information. You can put in realtor information for yourself. Again, not yellow, so it's not required. My information is put there automatically, so I don't have to do any of that. Here's the next question. In Puerto Rico, are we single agent compensation, non-representative compensation, or transaction broker compensation. Legally, we are all single agents and only single agents. We do not have a transaction broker compensation. So put a 0 there. Non-representative is not available, so we put 0 there. Single agent is where you are representing the seller, and if you bring the buyer, then you represent the buyer as a single agent, which constitutes a dual agency situation. For anybody in Puerto Rico, that's legal. In Florida, it's not legal. So that's the difference between Puerto Rico and Florida. I would suggest that anybody with a dual agency situation come up with a form to be signed by both the seller and the buyer, letting them know that this is a dual agency situation and that which the seller or the buyer that you'll be representing. Back to the compensation. If you get a listing for 7%, you can put down 3%, or you can put down 2.5%. Realistically, it's whatever you're willing to pay. So if you get a 5% commission from the seller and want to give half, then you can put 2.5%, or you can put 2%, or you can put anything you want. There's nothing telling you what you have to put there. There's no minimum, there's no maximum, and there's no guidelines. Okay. So 2.5. I have also seen recently that you can put down 2.5 minus $150. This is for the technology fee that a lot of people are now putting in. If you do not put this here, then I don't have to pay it as a buyer's broker. But if you put it here, then I know that I'm going to be the one paying the buyer's broker technology fee. And most likely I'm going to be charging it to my client. So please put it there if you have a technology fee or some other fee that you have. Showing instructions, very important. It's in yellow. Go all the way down to the bottom and click where it says use showing time button. Very important to click that because we want people to start using showing time and being able to have this feature. It is an extraordinary feature that really saves you a lot of time because I don't have to call you to make an appointment. I just go to showing time, make the appointment, you get a notification, you approve it, and it's in your calendar. It's extremely easy to do. Next, listing distribution. How do you want this to go out? Yes, on the internet. Yes, on IDX. Now, if you do not want your listings on my website, put no here. If you want me to sell your listings on my website, put yes. Same thing with this one. Yes. Third parties. Yes. This is ListHub. This is Zillow. This is Realtor. Those are the third parties that we want our properties on because that's where the United States and other parts of the world are coming to look at Puerto Rican properties. And right now, if you go to fang.com in China and focus and filter for Puerto Rico, you will see Puerto Rican properties in Chinese. It is the weirdest thing ever. And it's only through the MLS that you're able to do that. Next thing is show property address on the internet. If you have a paranoid lister who does not want to have his address all over the world, you put no. And then the address will not show up. And this is the only way not to have the address on the internet. This will not be on Realtor. It will not be on Zillow. It will not be going out to all the other 70 plus websites all over the world. So if you do not want the address out, say no. If you do want the address out, say yes. A lot of people that I'm seeing out there are still putting in the same idea as the classifieds where they don't put the address. You need to put the address, but if you do not want it on the internet, put no here. Virtual tour, yes. This virtual tour is free. It takes 24 hours and it will put you a link here. It takes the first 5 photos that you put in and creates a video of those first 5 photos. And then you can use that in your email marketing. You can use that in your website. You can use that in any other digital marketing. You can create QR codes and put that on your signs, on your cards, whatever. You can use that and it's free, completely free. Public remarks. This is the English. This is where you get really poetic. Beautiful, beautiful house. Mountaintop ocean view. You can get into near everything. Wonderful area, quiet, controlled access with roaming security. You can get really poetic with the house. Single owner house. Use things like we do in the States. TLC, house needs TLC, which means that it needs a chippy hammer to be able to get this house in. A handyman special, which means that you're going to have to hire a handyman when you buy this house. Different things like that. Or it can be move-in ready, or it can be make this house your own with a kitchen that's not there, with your own custom kitchen. And then you take this, whatever you put there, you copy, go up to your open, you go to where it says Google Translate. Paste, beautiful house, change that to Bonita Casa, copy, go back, and put that in the Spanish remarks. Now, as you can see, that is Google Translate. And please be careful. Google Translate doesn't translate all that well into Puerto Rican. So make sure you read through it, okay? One story I like to tell is the gentleman in Cuba who, when the Pope was going to visit a few years ago, Google translated welcome the Pope to Benito's Papa, because that's how you translate welcome Pope to welcome Papa, or Benito's Papa to English. So be very careful. Driving directions. Again, try to make this as fast as possible. Go to where you have your maps here. Where is it? Maps. Pick a point that everybody knows, like the Krispy Kreme. Get directions. The house is right here. With the fastest route. And then copy and paste. Oh. Pick that one. There you go. Copy and paste. Copy. Over here. Paste. As you can see, I still have 766 characters remaining. I can continue on. Now I'm at the end. So what I do now is the validate button. Anything you see in red is something missing. So go back to the beginning. It will show you in red what you're missing. If you noticed before that these were not yellow, but when I put the garage in, now they become yellow and required. Is the garage attached? Yes. Garage spaces, there's 2. garage dimensions. It's 50 by 25 because it is it is in parallel parking, one in front of the other. If it was side by side, it would be 25 by 50. Go to the next. If you notice, the red on pool exterior is now gone. So I go to this one, square footage source. It was the same, so owner provided. Go to the next. Ah, are pets allowed? Yes, pets are allowed. Additional lease text. See, call agent. I love that one. Call agent. Approval process. Call agent. Keep going. As you can see, the red is cleared. We're now on the realtor. It doesn't like this one, and I don't know why. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to open this up, and it's going to explain. Please enter the offer compensation to the compensating broker that has no brokerage relationship with a buyer. In Florida, transaction broker is the default. Therefore, the type of relationship would have to be disclosed in writing. Okay? Up here, the rule errors. Transaction broker, non-compensation broker, and single agent must be greater than 0, and the values must contain a percentage or a dollar sign. So I put here a dollar sign. Same thing here, dollar sign. I go all the way to the bottom, make sure there's nothing else red. Very good. And then I go back here. Ah, it's still red. I'm still missing something. Transaction broker greater than 0, values must be. All right.
Christopher, the problem there is that you have to put in transaction broker the percentage signal or character. Transaction broker compensation. Put the percentage 0%. 0%.
Transaction broker or?
Yes, 0%.
Okay, 0%. Okay.
And in the single agent compensation, remove the 2.5% at the front.
Right, but that's the percentage.
Okay, validate again.
Okay, over here, dual variable compensation. If your compensation changes due to the price of the offer, then put yes. If there's one compensation for any price, put no. And I go back to starting. Yeah, it's still red. Let's see here. Why is it still red? Why is it? It doesn't like. Okay, take away the $150. Put that in the realtor. Put that here where it says realtor only marks. Buyer must pay tech fee of $150. All right, here we go. That should clear. Oh, still there. Uh, 2.5. 2.5%. 2.5%. Let's see if that clears.
Christopher,
There.
just
good.
write in that field 2.5.
It cleared.
2.5, 2.5. Remove the comma.
I got the comma gone. So as you can see, the red cleared. This is the only one left. Now,
Okay, I'm sorry.
if you, when you first put in your listing and it takes you 45 minutes to put it in,
Okay,
not
right.
bad. My
That,
first listing took 45 minutes and I had to call customer service to find out how to put in photos. This is how you do it. And this is why you're at this training. And this is why we're giving this training, because to put the photos in, you click down here where it says save as incomplete.
correct.
You get this screen, and here's where you add, edit photos. Now you should already have the photos in a folder on your computer. So you browse. This is a good one here. It's a house in Dorado. These are all photos. Click the top one, push the shift button. Click the bottom one and then open. It will automatically put in all of these photos for you. Unlike the old system where you had to put 4 photos in, you're only required to put 1 photo in. But you have up to 99 photos to be able to put into the system. So put in more photos. The more photos, the better. Okay? The only rule that we have right now is that the first photo, the primary slot photo, must be the front of the house. And if it's not, then you take it, grab it, and bring it over. There's a software that you can have on your phone, an application that if you see a house on the street, you can take a picture of that house and put it in the application, and it will find the picture of that house, match it to all the MLS listings, and tell you which MLS listing is for that house. So that is why it's very important to have the front of the house as the primary slot photo. Once you have all the photos in and you like it, you can go to certify and save. Once that's in, you go back to continue editing. As you can see, all of the green across the top is no red. Okay. And then you're ready to submit the listing. I am not going to submit the listing because I don't want to come back later on and have to delete it, and it ruins my numbers. But submit the listing. Next thing you see is going to be back to the add edit page. And then you will see your listing here, as you see all my different listings here. ACT or actual are active. These are under contract. Land, rentals, rental income, residentials. All your properties are going to be here. And say like this one here, this is my rental. And I click it and it comes to this page. This is where you're under requirement from Stellar that you temporarily take it off the market. I'll be doing this later on with all my listings later on today. But for right now, we're going to show you how to take it off the market, temporarily off the market. That is today's date. And then you submit. Seems to be errors. Okay, let's find out. Rental rate is required. Okay. I cancel. Okay. Pick a different one. I'll find out what's wrong with that one now. This one. Temporarily off the market. Today. As you can see, input succeeded. It is now there. Back. Now, the listing that we just put in is, let's see, residential. Okay, the listing we just put in. We want to configure the showing time. Let me go back because that was kind of quick for everybody, I'm sure. Configure showing time. You click that and you go to your showing time panel. You can get detailed instructions on how to do it, but if you already know, you click the X and you come up here. Now, very important, appointment type. You have 3 different types of appointment. You have appointment required, courtesy call and go and show, view instructions only. Courtesy call and go and show means that there's a lockbox and I do not need to make an appointment with you. If you require an appointment, then you have the information where they have the person call the listing agent to make an appointment, or I can make an appointment using the system here. Appointment required. Come down here, access details. I select one. I come down, access provided by. Listing agent. Type of showing instructions. Call listing agent. Or I can put here, HUD keys, if you have a property that's on HUD keys. Lockbox, if it's a combination lockbox. And again, you can put other access notes, keys in office. That's for if you need to make an appointment. A courtesy call, go and show means it's on a lockbox. Put lockbox, combination, 1, 2, 3, 4. My favorite numbers. Location, you can, my suggestion, and this is what I've always told my agents, do not put the lockbox on the front doorknob. This is very easy for somebody driving by the house to see that this house may be vacant and can break into it. So put the lockbox somewhere else. It can be on a fence. It can be behind the hedges. It can be somewhere other than the front. And that's where you put in the lockbox location, side gate. Or somewhere else, wherever that lockbox is. You don't have to put call agent, and then you can save it. You can go up here where it says save changes. Here where it says view instructions only. Okay. You put down here other, change that, and then put down the instructions. Must call 24 hours beforehand. Must go to office, must fill out showing form. Please download showing form before going to see the property, whatever the instructions are. This is allowing you to instruct me without me having to call you and you spend 10 or 15 minutes on the phone explaining to me what the instructions are. I can see them here and follow the instructions. This one is an appointment required only. Listing agent. Call agent. And I come back up here and I put back save changes. So now your showing time is configured. And this will allow you to get notices and be aware of anybody who wants to show your property. Any questions?
No question.
Okay. Okay, so when you're finished with this, you can just close that page. Now, you put the listing in. Next week, when we're able to show properties, you get an offer. Your seller accepts the offer. This is pending. So you want to change it to pending. Backups required or requested, you say yes. Contract date, of course, is going to be today. Let's today. Expected closing date. A lot of complaints that we're hearing in the last year is the seller is very keen on getting people to follow the rules. And there are a lot of people are getting these emails saying they're going to get fined if they don't fix the problem. One, they have to give you 3 notices before you get a fine. So if you get a notice that something's wrong, fix it. You're not going to get a fine. If it takes you a little while to fix it and you get the second notice, just fix it. That's it. If you have any questions, go up to the top where it says here, the customer service number, and call them. They will explain to you in person how to fix the listing so you don't get a fine. One of the biggest things and one of the things that stands out the most about having Stellar as your MLS provider is that there are 70+ people in Florida willing to help you with whatever you need. That's customer service, accounting, membership, anything. Call that number. That is your lifeline to get anything done. I am your local expert, and I will be able to help you with a few things, but I would appreciate if you called them first. If they can't help you, then get me on board, and I will find out what's going on and help you with whatever you need. But there's your number. That's your customer service number. They answer that number from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock, Monday through Saturday. Yes, folks, that means they answer the phone on Saturdays. Okay? Hello?
One question. Marjorie Agosto asked if we can place or there is any place to establish owner occupied, or if that can be added in the system so the people know that that property is occupied. Another question from Charles: how do you control the keys return in the lockbox?
Well, okay, with showing time, if we all, I'll show you with the showing time how to find out who the last person that opened that lockbox was, and then be able to track down everybody that also showed that house that day and ask them, did you put the keys back? Okay, but I'll show you that in a little bit. The other question, what was the first question?
Is there any place to put in the system that that property is occupied by the owner?
Okay. Yes, there is. Let me get to that in a moment. Let me finish what I'm doing right now, because I want to explain that the closing date is great. And at first, I personally was getting fines because I would put in expected closing date of 60 days, which is the 30th of April. Okay. Well, many of my listings did not close in 60 days. So I got fines, not fines, but notices that I needed to change this. So my suggestion to everybody is to put this like 6 months into the future so you don't mess with it, okay? And you don't have to mess with it. Selling agent. If the person, to find a selling agent, put the person's in here, last name or your own. Run search. There's actually 3 of us in the system with the last name Larue. Actually, there's another. Wow, that's a new guy. Another Chris Larue. Never knew that there would be 2 of us. Anyway, so that's the selling agent. It's already found the information. Submit the listing. And you go back up, pull out your listings. Now you can see that this one is not active anymore. Now, let's go back. Let's say this one here. This is a condo. I want to change it and I want to add. So I want to go here where it says add edit listing fields. Listing. Let's see. Okay, the easiest way to do this is to go here, Realtor. And in the Realtor only remarks, put in property occupied by owner. And do not be afraid. I am under a code of ethics that I will not talk to the owner without you there and will not try to steal this listing from you. So that's because I am a realtor and I have a code of ethics that I must live by. And it's one of the main reasons why we want to work with all realtors and only realtors. And that's the great reason why we have to be realtors in order to use this system. Let's see. I thought there was another way of doing this with the owner occupied. Give me a second to look through this. Owner. Occupant type. See this one? Owner, tenant, or vacant. You can put owner. And that also helps me because I can search that. I can look for properties that are vacant because I like showing vacant houses. I don't have to make appointments. I love vacant houses. Kind of hard to talk to the buyers and get them to really envision their furniture inside the house. But once, if you are showing a house and they start walking around and pull out a tape measure and start measuring, and they go, oh yeah, my couch fits here, the TV is going to go there. You've got the house sold. Just keep your mouth shut and make them sign the offer. But that's how you do that there. Now, to answer Charles' question, I can go up to my main dashboard, which is this dashboard here, and go to showing time. Now remind me later. Okay, showings, calendar. This will show me all the showings that I had. So if I had 3 showings on the 6th of March, and I get a phone call or I get an email on the 7th saying, hey, the keys are not in the lockbox anymore. What do? You can call the 3 people that showed that house on the 6th and find out which one of those people have the keys. And that's another good use of the showing time, because you also can go back and get feedback from these people and say, hey, I saw you show my house yesterday. How did you like it? Oh, the buyer said it was a wonderful house, but it was too small. Or the buyer said it was a wonderful house, expect an offer tomorrow on that house. Or they hated the house, they hated the location. We will not be sending you an offer. Thank you for your time. You know, whatever. But this is where follow-up you can be used for this showing time is very, very important. Any other questions?
No yet.
Okay. All right. Back to add edit. Now my property is now pending. We close the property. Now it's sold. Okay. Contract date. That's the original contract date, which is going to be back here somewhere. Say the 28th. No contingencies. Expecting close date. Again, if it closed yesterday on the 23rd, today is the expected closing date. If there's any terms, this is very important for our appraisers that they know what the terms were, if it was cash or FHA or a conventional. This is a conventional. Seller paid costs, 0. Sold price. This is the only place that you put the actual sold price. Do not put it when you put it pending, put it here. Let's see, $250,000. Sold date is today or yesterday. Selling agent, again. Last name, Larue. Puts all the information in there for you from there very quickly. And then you submit. Oh, again, contract date. What's wrong with the contract date? Contract date must be either greater or equal to the list date. And greater than or equal to today, or a past date not to exceed more than 5 days from today. Okay. March. So 5 days would be 19. Submit. There's errors. Okay. I have to go back in and fix that. But there, as you can see, there's errors. It tells you what the error is. Dual compensation. Okay. I go back in, edit. Over here where it says realtor. Come down here, variable, dual variable, or actually no. Submit. It allowed me to fix that. Then I go back. Listing. San Patricio. Sold. Put the information in, contract date, 19th. None of that. Expected closing date is tomorrow or end of the week. It was a conventional mortgage. Seller buyer expense, 0. Sold price, $250,000. Sold date was today. Find listing agent. Last name, Larue. As you can see, it shows up. It remembers you. There's the system. Very good. And submit. Now it's been sold. And it shows up on my properties as being sold. Sold listings in the last 6 months. It shows up there. So this is how you manage a listing, from entering it into the system, changing it to where it becomes under contract, and then sold. And this helps with us being able to determine days on market. It helps us to have sold properties where we're looking for CMAs. It helps us have a history so that when you need information on a property, you come to the MLS. Any questions?
I don't have any other question. Oh, let me see. How can I see property listed for Ponce?
Okay. Up here where it says search in your, well, let's go home. Okay. Search. As you can see, there's many different types of searches. And I'm assuming we're going to look for a residential property in Ponce. This is a great thing about the system. People call you and say, hey, I'm looking for properties in Puerto Rico. I want to move to Puerto Rico and I have a job lined up in Ponce, but I need a house in Ponce to buy. Can you help? And you go, yes, I can help. Give me your name, phone number, email address, and I will send you a free list of available properties in Ponce in the next 10 minutes. Go to where it says quick, a residential, quick. If anybody else is doing this, you can see where Puerto Rico, you're here, where it says here, yours says Florida. Click the little icon and you get the whole group. Every county. Click Puerto Rico, add, and okay. Come down here where it says county and put Ponce. Ponce. I have 28 properties available right now without doing anything that I can look for. Okay. Say they want a property and they're qualified up to $250,000. Still got 28 matches. As you can see, when the window opens, it explains to you how to set up this information. So if you enter 10 for exactly 10, then you get only 10. If you want a range, 10 to 50, they will give you everything between 10 and $50,000. Use 10 plus if you want 10 and plus, or 10 minus for less than 10. Okay. So 250,000, 250 minus will give me everything less than 250. And now I have 26 matches. I click on the results. This is the standard grid with all the information. If you want to change the grid, you can change it to any one of these, and you can create your own if you want to have your own. I do a lot of BPOs for ResNet, Clear Capital, and other companies. And this particular BPO changes. Come on. Let's go that one. You can see where it changes. And now all the information that I need for that BPO is right there. Makes it fast. And I just choose the properties. Let's go back to single agent line, which is the one that everybody uses normally. You can see the MLS number. You can see the address, city, subdivision name, what urbanization is it in, what barrio it's in. If it's a condo, you can see the type of property. How many days on the market? Lots of properties there, very long days on market in Ponce. List price to square footage. So this was $11 per square foot for a house. This is how big the house is. Let's get that. 4,500 square foot house. I want to see this house. Here's the pictures for that house. You can scroll through the pictures. You can make the pictures bigger. That's a kitchen. Needs to be changed out. Looks fairly new. Bathroom, bedroom. This picture was taken by a cell phone, and the picture, the cell phone was using the light as its image. If this picture was taken a little bit lower, this room would be a lot brighter and it would be a better picture. Bathroom, front porch. Now I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that this house is not 4,000 square feet, 4,553 square feet. That's probably the lot. So this person, whoever this person is, needs to fix that. And let me go back to that. Where is that? Here. If you see something wrong, you can come down here, and you think it's a violation, you can click and report the problem. Remember, there's lots of people looking for this stuff all over the Stellar area and all over Florida, and they will make sure that that number is correct, not correct, whatever. Also, at the bottom, you will find the remarks saying that it is not, the information here is not warranted or guaranteed. So you cannot be held liable if something like this is not correct. This person needs a little more training, and we will be reaching out to that person to see if that actually is 4,500 square foot house. This one here, 0 is not supposed to be there. This one again, 0 is not supposed to be there. Something else I'm noticing, not in the Ponce area. Okay, here's the year built. We know that 2000 is a modern building. How does it look? Let's see what it looks like. Again, the first picture is of the front of the building. Again, with the front of the building, there's the living room, kitchen. Nice clean kitchen. Utility room, bedroom, bathroom again. closet, second bathroom, second bedroom. So they have all the pictures there that I would need to be able to sell that house to one of my buyers. I can see both bathrooms. I can see the kitchen. I can see living spaces. I can see the outside of the building. I can see that it looks fairly newly painted. The fence needs a coat of paint. This has all been freshly painted. Living room, lots of windows. Again, if you're going to do photos, take the photos with the windows behind you so that you don't get this dark areas here. Here, there's the windows, there's the door, and there's the windows. Take the picture from with this to your back. This is a better picture. You can see the floor, walls. In this kitchen, you can see the cabinets. Countertops are a tile countertops. Stainless steel sink. Not sure what that is in the corner, but that's where you email. This is a utility room. Master bedroom. You can see the floor. Freshly painted. Bathroom. Now, there's a lot of discussion about this particular shower. Do you leave it open so you can see the shower, or do you leave it closed like that? It's up to you. You can do whichever you want. Me personally, I would like to see inside the shower, to see the fixtures and to see if there's a tub, to see what tile is in the shower. So I would, when I'm taking the picture, leave it open, but a lot of people close it just like this. Pedestal sink. Walk-in closet. And my joke whenever I show a house is this is hers and this is his. So it's his and hers closets. This is the second bathroom. You can see that the tile goes up to here. Second bedroom. Again, you can see the floor. Again, with the window. Should take the picture from the other direction. You get a better pictures of the better resolution of the walls that way. And that's photos in Ponce. Now, Charles, when you had that person call you and you got their email address, you say, you think as the agent, that house is beautiful. I want to send it to them. Come down here where it says email. That person's brand new for you. So you click on new contact. You go here, John Doe. J-O-H-N. Doe, D-O-E. Put the address in. Doe 12345 at Gmail. and then put the cell phone number in. And then you save that. And then it shows up here. If it's already a person that you already have as a client, then you pick one. Click 2 and okay. Now that person is in. Subject. As you can see, it remembers me. So new property for you. I love this property. Do you agree? Or whatever. Good morning. The latest property search comes up with this property. However you want to do it. And then you send it. Now that property has been sent. It's in their inbox. They can respond. As you can see, I have different favorite searches. One for East PR here. One for West PR. And a residential search. These are quick. I save these searches so that I can go back and look for properties in these areas very quickly. For example, Mr. Lucas here. He's looking for a property to move here in the next year. So I go to residential and PR. These are all the properties in the different cities at different prices. And as you can see, I have 156 for him. But I don't want to have to do this every day. So I go and I save and I set up an automatic email to go to Lucas. Where is this? No, I don't see him. Back here. Escalera. All right. Residential. Save. Auto email. He's not on this list. So I click more. And now he will be on this list.
Christopher,
Yeah.
Charles asked a question. Can you please explain why Stella has only 28 property for Ponce in the system while clasificados have much more?
Well, the blunt answer for that is that we only have certain agents and not agents, realtors in Ponce putting properties in the MLS. The classifieds are all licensees and all FSBOs and all properties put there. The MLS is only realtors. And this is for many reasons, including the fact that we want to work with other realtors, first and foremost, and we want to make sure that we're working ethically and with a guaranteed commission. Any property in the MLS is going to have a guaranteed commission paid to the buyer's agent and to the seller's agent. This is not true all the time with the classifieds. Also, with the classifieds, that agent can deny you as a fellow realtor and co-broker access to that house. You cannot deny any other realtor access to a house in the MLS. So when I go to search properties, I look first in the MLS because I know that I'm going to get a commission. I know I'm going to work with an ethical real estate agent, and I know that I can see that house no matter what the actual situation is. Unlike classifieds, where it's basically the Wild West. You can do anything you want. And that's why there's 28 compared to probably 100 active listings in classifieds. Remember, a lot of the classifieds are repeats. A lot of the classifieds are properties that are there old. Properties that are just put there in order to get people to call them. None of that happens in the MLS. So that's why the MLS is my first choice. And then, yes, after the
Chris,
MLS.
he asked how many realtors in Ponce are affiliated to Stellar?
Okay, good question. Search. I go down here where it says more. It opens up a window. I go down here, agent search. I click here where it says Puerto Rico. We currently have 207 agents on the island. And this is all their information: name, office, phone number, everything. Here, I click here, change it to 100. Now I have all of the agents on the island. Any other questions?
No.
All right.
He wanted more precise information, but we don't have that information. So, Charles, you have a very huge opportunity for your company and for your listing, because as you see, you have a few listing from Ponce. So what we are talking here, we need all the realtors from Ponce, from whole island, to have the main or central database with the all information. Because if I can get access to your listing, I can help you to sell that property. But if I don't see your property, how may I help you? You know, that is the issue right now. So I invite you and everybody in this chat, in this webinar, to join to the MLS, because the real estate business is networking. So I have the buyer, you have the property, let's do the business. Okay, continue, Chris.
Absolutely. And Charles's question, I think I can answer right now. If you click on one of these headers of the columns, you get this box, and I can insert a column, and I have a list of things that I can put in, like, okay. Let's see, states, member city. And at the end here is where member city. Okay, so now I can click here, and it will put it in alphabetically for me. And I go down here on page 2. And here's all of the agents from Ponce.
Chris, I think that we can talk right now about the how to become realtor and how to become part of the MLS, because we are noon 12:17 p.m.
Yep.
So if you can take those topics, Charles, I'll ask him for that.
Okay. This is the home page where you want to go. Is stellarmls.com/PRAR. Right. Yep. Try again.
There is a typo. But
Yeah, there's an extra E there. Stellar MLS. Oop. There you go. Technology. It doesn't work like it does in the movies, does it? Okay, so this is the page you go to. Up here is a question. If you have any questions, you can talk to customer service. You can join today. If you're a broker, that means that you own the company. You do this button here. If you are a salesperson, which means you work for another broker and you are using their escrow account as your own escrow account, then you click here. If you are an unlicensed assistant, you click here. Salesperson application. Charles, are you a broker or a salesperson?
he's a broker.
He's a broker. Okay. And go here where it says broker application.
But first off, he needs to become a realtor.
Okay. So to become a realtor, what office, what city is your office located in, Charles?
Once.
Okay. So you're in the jurisdiction of Mid-Island Association, and you should call them to find out, to get their application and connect with them and be able to get started becoming a realtor with them. Per National Association of Realtors, you can choose any of the 4 boards in Puerto Rico to be your board. That includes San Juan, Bayamón, Caguas, or Ponce, Mid-Island. So if you want to go with Mid-Island, great. I hope to see you in your application there. If not, you can choose any of the other 3 boards and be able to sign up with whoever you want to sign up with. I do not know offhand the procedures with Mid-Island.
He wants to join to San Juan board.
Okay, that's the board that I'm with. Eduardo is also with that board. The procedure is you have to contact my office administrator, Maribel. She will get you the application. You can go to our website, sjrealtor.com, and under the membership tab, get that document, send it to her with your license, your escrow letter from the bank, a picture, and we can get you set up. There must be a 10-day waiting period so that other realtors are notified that you want to become a realtor. Once that 10-day waiting period is completed, you go through a swearing in process that we have once a month, normally at the end of the month. So right now, we have one planned for our Realtor Week, which is the end of April. Between the 19th and the 25th of April, we have a swearing in that we're going to do. We are going to do that swearing in, whether it's virtual like we're doing right now, or if it's in person. depending on the situation with the quarantines and the virus, however it may be. Once you get that done, then you will be issued a NRDS number. That is a number given to you by the National Association of Realtors. And that's when you are officially a realtor and can use the R on your business cards, use the R in your websites. You will get other benefits like discounts with Office Depot and with other benefits with car rentals, with how much did you use Eduardo, did you use the discount when you got your Jeep?
No,
Okay.
but we have to verify that. That is another opportunity for Puerto Rico realtors and everywhere. So, so Chris, I going to not lose a lot of time in this. I'm going to call personally Charles Bill to bring all of the information. And I think that we cover everything in that webinar. I don't know if you want to say a few last questions, and then I'm going to call Mr. Charles to bring more information, okay?
Okay, okay. Just a quick overlay. You saw how to do a search. We do have commercial properties. We have, right now, we have 226 matches for commercial properties. We can look for vacant land, rentals, very important because a lot of people are moving here from the States and they need rental properties. 65 matches all over the island from $500 a month to $5,000 a month for rentals. Under my matrix here where it says settings, where is it? Settings here at the bottom. If you go here, you can set up your email signature, and here is where your website page is. You can enable your website, create a good looking website. This is all included in your membership. Okay. Market reports. You can get different market reports. This is all included in the $25 a month, paid annually starting in June of $300. And it's great because I hate missing that date and having to pay the fine. But once a month, once a year, $300 to be able to do all this is very, very, very valuable. Does anybody have any questions? No questions. All right. I'm done. I think I've shown everything. If anybody else doesn't have any system or any questions or anything specifically that they would like to see, then we can call it a day.
Okay, perfect. So Chris, thank you, Christopher, thank you very much for your time, for all the powerful information that you shared to us today. Para todos ustedes que están todavía conectados, este video se va a quedar colgado en las redes, en Facebook. So, ustedes lo pueden acceder en cualquier momento, lo pueden compartir con cualquiera de sus colegas. Así que yo creo que atendimos todas las preguntas básicas. Recuerden que el próximo martes vamos a hacer el próximo adiestramiento que va a ser bajo el tema Showing Time, que es la herramienta que podemos utilizar con las aplicaciones móviles o el celular, para que usted no tenga que estar llamando al otro compañero Realtor para mostrar una propiedad, sino que a través del mismo sistema se pueda configurar todo. claro, estamos en momento, ¿verdad? De toque de queda. Eso no podemos utilizarlo en estos momentos, pero sí podemos adiestrarnos para tan pronto salgamos de toda esta situación, que con el favor de Dios lo vamos a lograr, pues podamos utilizar estas herramientas. El Showing Time te permite hasta sacar el mapa con el geolocalizador dentro de tu teléfono para que puedas llegar directamente a la propiedad, crear rutas, entre muchas otras cosas. Ese webinar lo va a dar nuestro compañero Ramón Molina, va a estar dirigiendo ese webinar. Nosotros también vamos a estar asistiéndole, este servidor, y Christopher también, para esa y más información. Así que nada, les saludo a todos, no les tomamos más tiempo. Gracias a todos, manténganse a salvo en sus hogares, no salgan para nada, mantengan a su familia a salvo, sigan los consejos de sanitización, ¿verdad?, de que debemos hacer. Y pues, tengamos la fe y esperanza y no dejen caer esos ánimos durante estas próximas semanas, ¿ok? Porque vamos a salir de esto con el favor de Dios. Así que muchos saludos a todos, muchas bendiciones. Tengo una llamadita que voy a hacer ahora y nos mantenemos en contacto. Hablamos, cuídense. Gracias, Christopher. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Bye, bye.
Bye.